freedom that we can ever claim. We are here today because our sister, Representative Nicole Collier, is standing for Black and Latino Texans, not only in her district, but across the state and across this country. She is standing on the shoulders of giants because, like Representative Collier said herself, we are not going back to the era of Jim Crow. For dignity, for her humanity. We need to all understand this tactic of the radical right that they have been using and are still using today. It is to strip us of our humanity, to other us, so that we become then undeserving of health care, education, and freedom. Nicole Collier is standing up for Texas, for whose laws should be written by its true majority. Show me what apartheid looks like. Texas is what apartheid looks like. How is it that Texas is one of the most racially diverse states in this country, but we have the least diverse state government? Texas today is a majority of color state. Not tomorrow. The majority of Texans live in a county where Democratic leadership has paired with progressive infrastructure to win popular policies like paid sick leave, increasing wages for working Texans, making sure that our kids, pre-K, cannot get into the school-to-prison pipeline. Actual policies that are popular with Texans. The ideas and policies of Texas's radical right are unpopular. And they know it. And that is why they are rigging the system today. Most of all, Representative Collier is standing on business. 10 toes down! 10 toes down! Representative Collier is defending every Black Texan who refuses to be erased, who refuses to make sure that the sting of injustice will not be felt for generations, for every community that refuses to be silent. She was locked in, not just behind doors, but behind bars of a system designed to keep us out. She was locked in because she dares to speak the truth, to demand fairness, to insist that our voices matter. And make no mistake about it, the radical right wants to lock us out, lock us out, lock us out. Because they know that in particular, when Black Texans rise, Texas rises with us. Redistricting is just a cousin of voter suppression. These are the same tactics that Jim and Jane Crow used, dressed up in new clothes, but with the same old purpose, to keep us from the franchise, to keep our power from us, and to keep us from changing this state for the better. There is nothing new, which is important to note about these efforts. White supremacy knows no bounds, no shame, and no limits to the length that they will go to keep us from the ballot box and diluting our vote. I want to take folks back a minute. I said I was a fourth-generation Texan. My grandmother lived off of Springdale and MLK here in Austin. I remember sitting with her as grandmother Stu, she was puttering around, and she just said to herself, "Did I pay my poll tax?" And then she quickly remembered, I don't have to pay my poll tax. And that was the reality for Black folks across this country. Back then, folks had to prove land ownership, guess the number of jelly beans in a jar, or even count the number of soap bubbles that a bar of soap made. That was voter suppression in its rawest form, deliberate, humanity stripping, and relentless. Fast forward to 2021, we saw the same playbook dusted off and used again. The state legislature passed a slate of voter suppression laws designed to make it harder for our communities to vote, to silence our voices, and to hold power accountable. Then in 2024, Governor Greg Abbott and his allies took a further step and purged 1 million voters from the rolls. Those are the tools and tactics that have been used to silence our voices. More Black people call Texas home than anywhere else in this country. Black people make up the largest electorate here in Texas. Texas has the largest Black electorate of anywhere else in this country. Everywhere you find progressive leadership in Texas, you will find Black voters at the heart of it. And that's why they are working so hard to strip it away from us. Like I said, Representative Collier is standing on business, and so are we. We will not be silenced. We will not be locked out of the future that we are building together. Speaking of the future, I always say that my most important contribution that I can make to this work is to raise my daughters to be better than me, to teach them to call out injustice when they see it, and to never be silent in the face of wrong. Our presence here today is a statement. We are not passive observers. We are active participants in building the future that my daughters will enjoy. We're all Texans, regardless of race, zip code, faith, tradition, ability, who you love, can live with our humanity intact.